Hello, hello. I know many of you aren't used to hearing my voice, and this definitely isn't the content I usually upload to this channel, but over the month of August, I decided I was going to fill a traditional sketchbook in 30 days. I saw someone on TikTok do this challenge, and I thought it would be a good way to improve my art and do some studies, because I get so focused on finishing map parts that I can never find time to actually practice my craft in an educational way. I don't like traditional art and have frankly never liked it ever since I got my first digital art tablet in 7th grade. Lately, I've been doing so much digital art so constantly that for my art to improve, I decided that I needed to take a step away from the unlimited undos and a transform tool and just put pen to paper and draw like I used to. I limited myself to a mechanical pencil, a 1mm micron fineliner, and 4 Crayola markers, 2 in blue and 2 in green. I find that when I have access to my whole arsenal of art supplies, I will get overwhelmed and get stuck in how many possibilities there are, so this limiting of supplies was really the only way I could finish this in a month. Without further ado, let's get into the art. So the goal with this page was to do a sort of stylized wolf. I wasn't thinking too hard about what's traditionally supposed to be the first page of a sketchbook to do a before and after comparison. I just wanted to draw a wolf. I was listening to an audiobook at this time about wolves. It was kind of a take on Little Red Riding Hood. And so, yeah, I think he came out okay. He's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I like the shading that I've done here for his muzzle. So now we'll move into the actual first page of our sketchbook, which is a tree. I don't like drawing trees. I don't know why I chose to draw a tree. I was sitting in the car waiting for my friend to come out of her house, and I drew a tree. It's got shading, but I wouldn't say it's shaded correctly, or at least I don't know what's happening down here. It's weird, but that's okay. It's a tree. That's how trees are. On the next page, we have what you will see a lot of, which is doodles of my OC, Gorseflight. He is a warrior cat OC, and, you know, he's a silly little guy. He's grumpy, and I really like drawing him. And then the other thing that's going to be shown a lot in this sketchbook is figure drawings. I do a lot of figure drawings. They are helpful, I suppose. It's a really good warm-up when I don't know what to draw yet or my hands are still cold. I'll do figure drawings. This one was for 30 seconds each. Sometimes I do a minute per pose. I use lineofaction.com to get my figure poses, but I know a lot of other artists use different techniques as well. This was another page of figure drawings. They're better, and they're better because I spent 60 seconds on them. And then this is another OC that you'll probably see a lot of in this book. This is Sealke. I don't think I was using a reference, which is why this looks a little weird. And yeah, so we just got a couple profiles of her. We've got her prosthetic leg. I really like drawing her prosthetic. It's very fun. This is nothing. This is something I made up in my head. I was like, I should practice perspective, and then I didn't really. And then these were more figure drawings just with blue marker to make them look interesting. Here are where the good pages start. This is a study on pants. If I can find the Pinterest post I used, I'll insert it here. If I can't, that's a shame, but I referenced some other artists' pants to figure out how they characterize and express their folds so that I could try and do better. This is something I would like to finish one day digitally, which is a book cover for that audiobook that I mentioned I was listening to, which was The Wolf and the Woodsman. So I was kind of just having fun with some typography. I wanted to draw a pretty knife. I wanted to draw a pretty axe. Pretty simple, but I had a good time. It took me 2 days. Yeah, I really liked it. I love these pages and the next couple pages. These were some figure drawings I was doing as a warm-up, actually before doing some voice recording, because I wanted to move my fingers a bit, and so I looked up some different models on Pinterest, and I think the movement and how the fat lays looks really good. I think it came out well. This is Gorse Flight again. I just wanted to do fun, silly marker art. I wasn't thinking too hard. Lost in a Conviction, he's very into his decision to unalive cats that he deems to be bad. One day he will realize that's a bad thing to do, but today is not that day. On the next page, we have his wife, Sky Dawn, who is one of my friend's OCs. She is, I put lost in a dream. She was very in love with Gorse Flight until she died and found out that he was a murderer, and now she's not sure whether he's the cat she loved or not. This is, I was waiting for my parents to come meet me for some pizza, so it's just the dashboard of my car. There are some benches outside. It was pretty fun. I have lots of bumblebees in my car. It's quite a thing I enjoy. This series went on for a hot second. I think we have a couple more of them to do. This is Skydawn's mother, Coldflower, who is owned by the same friend. She was very vain. She was all into beauty. She often was abusive towards her daughter for not being beautiful enough. So she's got these eyes on her. I was just having fun with markers. This is Gorse Flight again. He has a dumb little son that he adopted named Mottled Kit, who is also a different friend's OC. He's just a goofy little guy. He's a silly little man. They're having a good time, little father-son bonding moment. This is finally the last one of this series. This is Gorse Flight and Skydawn's daughter, Shadow Cry, who is also my character. Lost in a Repulsion. I was running out of ideas if it wasn't blatantly obvious. She doesn't know whether or not to love her parents. She was lied to about Gorse Flight being her father. She's got some trauma. This is very weird and just a prompt I saw off of, I think it was Pinterest. It might have been TikTok. I don't know. It's weird. I was tired. It was like midnight when I was doing these. These are more figure drawings and a crabby cowboy, which I found a picture of a crab on Pinterest and I wanted to draw him. He's a silly little guy. And then these are some drawings of kittens and flowers for an art trade that I was doing for someone's recently deceased kitten. So I wanted to figure out how younger kittens look. I wanted to make it a little bit more realistic. So these are just some studies. They got chonky little bellies and they are adorable. I had a great time doing this page. Here is our first big seal case spread. She is my beloved. I adore her. I draw her all the time. I don't like how some of the drawings on this came out. These are all her in some more Renaissance kind of outfits, some more fancy, bougie outfits. This is not how she dresses. She is an army veteran. She wears sweatpants the majority of her time, but I like drawing her in fun clothes because what else are you gonna do? So we've got her lounging here, her lovely prosthetic. I like giving cats around her just because they're easy to draw. This is her and her fiance James. Again, she wouldn't wear an off-the-shoulder dress like this. She probably wouldn't wear a dress. But they're kissing, they're cute. We've got her wedding ring. This is her in kind of, it was like a popper kind of shirt, you know. Some flowers behind her for decoration, a bomb. I was running out of ways to fill the page. And in here we've got this lovely bouquet mixed with guns because she was in the military. Here I was getting tired again. I do a lot of these sketchbook pages in big bursts because, of course, I was trying to finish in a month. So I would just sit down for many hours and just draw for like 10, 15 pages. So I was trying to draw her lounging again. I drew the wrong foot or the wrong leg being amputated. Her right leg is supposed to be the amputated one, not her left, but that's okay. And then some very goofy marker art of a cat. Cats are always my go-to when I am tired of drawing because they are simple. I love this.
This right here is my favorite thing ever. In the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
I love Silke. I just putting her in armor. I have a soldier OC who has been drawn a total of twice. And yet, instead of drawing her, I will always just be drawing Silke in armor. She's got a wooden prosthetic because if she had lived during knighthood times, she wouldn't have the fancier prosthetic that she has now. Yeah, chainmail, plate mail, sword. I'd like to finish this one day. It's just a sketch right now, but she's my lovely little girl. And this is her best friend, Casey, who I did with marker art again to just let my fingers rest because I worked on this for, I think, an actual hour and a half. And so I was tired, so then I went back and did this page. It was silly little marker art, and then I tried to make it look like it had been drawn by Casey on a napkin. So that was fun. I think that came out fairly well. These are a bunch of characters from the roleplay I'm in with my friends. We got Gorse Flight again, Sky Dawn. This is Light Kit, Wild Kit, and Sweet Foam. Or Light Frost, Wild Hound, and Sweet Foam. Just as meme cats. Just silly. I was just having a good time. This is Spider Noir. I don't like it so much, but it happens. I was displeased with how it was going, so I tried to do some fun typography. He is my favorite Spider-Man. I wish I could draw him well, because if I could, he would be everywhere. I absolutely adore Spider Noir in the Spider-Verse movies. This is my favorite. I think this is my favorite page in the entire sketchbook. I love it so much. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It is just a spread of Silke in the fall, feeling fall-tastic. It was, still August when I drew this? I love fall. It is my favorite time of year ever. It's amazing. So, this was the first thing I had drawn. Silke, big ol' thick, chunky fall sweater. I really like how the line art turned out with the thick folds. She got little ghosts on her shirt. This is her with some patchwork pants. They were much cooler in the reference photo because they were all different colors. It was very cool. But, I wasn't using any color on this page. Pine cones. What are they called? Cinnamon sticks? Nutmeg? I don't know. Just filling the page. These were some fun little hair decorations. Got some belt decorations, some candles. That's her cat. Her cat is also missing a leg. This is her prosthetic. I really like how this boot came out. I think it looks good. And her best friend, Casey's adoptive son, covered her prosthetic in stickers because I feel like he would do that. That is a thing that a 5-year-old would do. I don't know if I'm going to have to blur out some of the words. I probably won't, because you know what? It was a roleplay scene. This is one of my characters, Blue Star. He is incredibly disappointed in one of his warriors. He did not do anything, but he talks big. These are some hedgehogs. These are two very different pages. I like drawing like a blob of marker first, and then I'll figure out how to turn it into a hedgehog, because they are any shape. Like rats, they are any shape. I think he's my favorite. Maybe he is. They're silly little guys. They're so fun. I was listening to How to Train Your Dragon music while I was drawing, so I had to draw a dragon. I don't know how to draw dragons, but I did anyway. So you got a mama and a baby. They are something. They're fine. It's whatever. This is a TikTok that I made that I find very funny. I was getting a little bit into my imposter syndrome after drawing so many cats that are not realistic. So I looked up a reference, found some nice realistic kitties, and drew them. They are very cute. I love cats. I think cats are great. They're really fun to draw. I was really pleased with how this came out. Obviously, it's not like hyper realism, but their proportions are right. They look good. They're silly little goobers. I love the trend of OCs drawing themselves. I wanted to do it for a while, and I had no other ideas of what to do. This was a new day of drawing. Silke was originally an artist in her first iteration of her story. She was like a hyper realism artist, because that's what I wanted to be at the time. So I think she would draw herself quite well, but I think she would over accentuate things that she views as a negative part of herself, like her eye bags. Casey, God bless Casey. Casey is not an artist. Casey tries really hard. I think that Casey would have grown up watching things like Sailor Moon, anime, etc. So I tried to give some more influence into the eyes there. And then poor Seed is a small child with not a single artistic bone in his body. So I think that's the best he could do. But he's a cute little guy. I love Seed. There's not much of him in this sketchbook. I think this is the rest of him for the entire sketchbook. This was magnificent. This is my soldier OC that I was talking about earlier. She's blind, so she has this big, thick wooden stick that is both her seeing eye cane, and she beats people over the head with it. So I found a great pose. I really wanted to do it. She needs to be finished. Some of her proportions are a little wonky. But I like the idea of it. I like the vibe. This is a manticorn because I thought that would be fun to draw. I love how this came out. This is amazing. I was using a 1mm micron to do any line work you see in here will be done with a 1mm micron. It took me a solid hour just to fill in the stripes because a 1mm micron is itty bitty. That is a small pen. So I would recommend not doing that. But I think the feathers came out really good. I referenced some hawks. I love hawks. So I referenced some hawk feathers. These were some cool goat antlers, and tigers are my jam. So I had to go with a tiger. Yeah, just having a good time. I like it. This is nothing. It's just a cat. I think technically I said it was a character from a roleplay. But he's just a cat. These were fun. This came straight out of my imagination, you can tell, because the folds don't work right. Just some overalls. I don't know. I wanted to draw overalls. I really like doing marker art as a cool down. After doing so much intense detail work, it was fun to just color like a kid. This is another meme. I'll see if I can find it so I can put it up on the screen. Just that's Blue Star, the character from earlier, and Sky Dawn as a kitten. And he was a very loving father to her. So, just give her a little kiss. Here's more Sealke in armor, because I cannot help myself. I love her. She is gorgeous in armor. Look at her go. I would love to finish this as well. She got a big old sword. Yeah, this was hard. I kept making her head too small. I had to redraw her head here. I think like 10 separate times, like complete redraw, full erase, full restart. Because I kept making it too small, and I'm still not positive that it's the right size, but it's as good as it's gonna get unless I ever choose to finish this digitally, which I would like to do one day. More Sealke, she's putting on a coat. I use Sealke to learn how to draw clothes because she's pretty easy for me to draw. I like to see how folds work. I like to put her in fancy things that you would never in a million years wear. This is not an example of me drawing good clothing folds, but it is an example of me trying. These are shapes. They're shapes. There's nothing interesting about them. This is my dog. I love taking 0.5 photos of him. He is a mini schnauzer. He has the cutest little stub tail. He's precious. This is the only time I drew him because I don't much care to draw schnauzers, but I do love taking photos of him. He is baby. This is Sealke. I didn't use a reference. Use a reference, kids, and then your heads won't come out looking like this. This was a bad drawing day. So this was the end of a day. This was the start of another day. It's of which I was struggling incredibly hard. I didn't know what to draw, and I wasn't doing a very good job of actually drawing. So I moved on to cats, because they always work. Here is Blue Star with his new mate, Crow Song. They have a baby. He is about to officially start a war. I like how the nest came out. Yeah, I just like how they look. They're snuggling, they're having a good time. I was very pleased with how this came out after having such poor drawings earlier. This is a storyboard for a map part that will hopefully come out this month being September. So if this video takes me longer than I planned for it to be finished, then maybe this map part is already out. Here's a dress. I was trying to do the same thing as the overalls from earlier. This one went less well, but that's okay. It's just a green dress. I am not a fashion designer and never will be. Figure drawings. They are a great way to fill up pages, and the goal was to fill up pages. I frankly could have filled these pages better. I could have fit something there. I could have fit something there. But I didn't, so oh well. I really like, every couple months I go onto Line of Action, and I love seeing when they've added new models. So they've recently added, maybe not recently, but since the last time, they've added some wheelchair models, and so that's very fun to try and figure out how to make people sit, and also in a wheelchair. My friend, my lovely friend Sid, had been bothering me about Official Clown Week in the best of ways, so I had to make a clown sona. They also made a clown sona. If I get the permission, I'll show it here. She's fun, she's goofy, she's silly. She got bells on her. I am not a quiet person, so I think that if I was a clown, I would have lots of bells. I currently use a walking cane, and I thought that's boring, so she has balloons on her walking cane. She has square balloons, and triangle balloons, and star balloons, because I said so. She's a clown. She's got some stuffed animals, prizes, first aid kit. Yeah, she's just for funsies. She's just a silly little girl. I do really like how this page came out. These were just extra details. Yeah. I hate hands. Boy, howdy do I hate hands. So, I decided that I should do hand studies, and this page killed me. Apparently, as I wrote. This was hard. I think some of these came out good. I think this is quite good. I like this. Some of these aren't too bad. This is awful. Uh, I have no idea what this is, but that's okay. It happens. They were studies. They were for practice, and I got practice. My hands are really hard. This is modeled Kit again, dressed up as a witch because I was pumped for Halloween. It is still August, but I was pumped for Halloween. I don't really like Halloween, but I do like the fall, and I like dressing up. These are more flowers. I used to hate drawing plants and backgrounds. I have recently started enjoying it, and I hope that continues because it makes backgrounds much easier when you enjoy what you're drawing. This was supposed to be a 5-minute doodle that turned into an actual fully colored page. I have no opinion on chickens, but I saw a reference of a chicken, and I wanted to draw it, and then I wanted to draw more. It was shockingly easy. They are not hard to draw, especially if you do scribbles for their feathers, like I did. There are no thoughts behind these eyes. Head empty, and this one screams, so pretty fun. I did a lot of just drawing roleplay characters in meme templates. This is Gorseflight, or Gersflit, because he's just a little wrong. He is an Oriental short hair, technically. Not that I really ever draw him properly like that, but theoretically, that's what he is, so here he is. Hopefully I'll get to put the meme beside so you can see. Yep, just a cat in a suit. This was also requested by Sid. Thank you so much to my online friends, by the way, for giving me many recommendations. I genuinely greatly enjoyed it. It helped me fill the sketchbook. Here's my character, Nightingale Sleet. These are all from the same roleplay. I just have a lot of characters. She baby girl. She's sad about her sister being dead. She is thick. She is thick and fluffy, and I love her, and her design's very pretty, and I never draw her. If you do hand studies, you have to do feet studies, and they're worse. They're so much, not just worse, because I don't care to look at feet for over an hour. They are so hard to draw. They are deformed hands. They are awful. I don't understand them. This is the best one. This was awful. I did not have fun. Kill me now. My favorite painting in the absolute world is Lucretia. I think that's how you pronounce it. I wouldn't know. By that name. I'll put it on the screen. I'll show you an example of what the picture looks like. I love it so much. That is my favorite painting ever. Hands down. Beautiful. Unfortunately, I might have to blur it for YouTube. We'll see. I might blur it just in case anyway. But I tried to do a sketch of it, and it went horribly. I hate how this looks, and it did not give her the justice that I think this painting deserves. I did it again using blue for all of the shadows, using green for any of the bright highlights, and I think this came out much better. I think the form looks better. I like it more. So then, of course, I had to do a study of The Fallen Angel. Very famous painting. This didn't come out well, but I do love the original painting. I love the emotion in the original. It's so pretty, and it's just, I love it so much. It's amazing. This is fine. This is a cat. all of the black fine liner was done in one line because I wanted to try that challenge. It's a cat. This was the end of like an 8-hour day of nothing but drawing in my library. I finished 20 pages this day. Oh my gosh. So I was running out of things to draw. So this was just the view of where I was sitting in my library, just bookshelves, an attempt at perspective. And then I drew some otters. They're my favorite animal, maybe. I have a lot of favorite animals. And they're just silly little guys. They were harder to draw than I thought they would be. But that they are. They're so silly. I love their dumb little feet and their stupid little heads. Beautiful. This is what happens when you overwork your hands, kids, and don't use a reference. This is bad. This is ugly. I don't like it. It's awful, generally. This is a character that I voice in an animated series that is not yet out. I will put a link in the bio to the channel, if I remember. So yeah, there they are. Wolf, love them. A new day, more plants. These were fun. My dog kept bothering me while I drew these. Got a satsuma, some lily of the valley, some monstera, and some peach mushrooms, which are the best thing in the world. I love them so much. I say that about everything in this sketchbook. Yeah, I think they turned out well. They're fine. I like drawing plants when they're kind of in seclusion like this without having to draw, the rest of the background. This is a grumpy owl. I saw a grumpy owl, so I drew grumpy owl. Yeah, he's just a grumpy little guy. I was watching TV at the time, so I wasn't doing the most intricate drawings. It's a cat. I picked up the wrong green marker. It annoys me greatly. It's a shirt. I don't know, man. I drew a shirt. This is at the time, this looked like the worst thing in the world. Now, I'm not saying it's good, but it's not as bad as it looked to me at the time. So I gave up incredibly quickly. But here's a grumpy little gorse for your troubles. This is a cat. I went to a cat cafe, and this cat just had the most beautiful white pattern on its nose. I loved it so much. He was a silly little dude who liked pets, but not for too long. So I had to draw him. He was so sweet. These 2 pages are the same scene. I gave up on this one. This is my character, Shadow Cry, once again, being sad because her brother was murdered. So here, I actually tried, and it's her talking to her father on this little bridge, and she is upset. Poor girl. I started listening to Yellowfang's Secret on audiobook because I don't have time to read. I love the book. I did not finish the audiobook because I got bored and moved on to other things. But here's the scene of Yellow Paw convincing Ragged. I think he was already Ragged Pout. The age gap is weird to me. But not as bad as other warrior cat pairings, but still interesting. Convincing him to go try and find his father. I am bad at drawing Persians, but I did try my best. We were watching Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, me and a friend. So here he is, Puss in Boots. No sketch, and not really a reference. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a spectacular movie, and if you haven't seen it yet, you really should, because the animation in it makes me want to die in the best way. Oh, look, it's more figure drawings. Or I guess I should call them gesture drawings. I don't know. I don't care. It's a good warm-up. Oh, look, it's more hands and feet. They're so hard to draw, which means I just need to draw them more until I am good at drawing them. But some of them came out okay. Boy, do I not like hands, but they're better than fucking feet. Oh my gosh, I don't understand how toes work. Why do they spread like this? Why? Why? Just stop. If you can draw feet, major kudos to you. Because it's cool if you can draw hands, but drawing feet is so hard. I had an awful time. These came out okay. Toes are they're little like beans, and it's weird. This is a Care Bear. There was a TikTok trend for a while that had like a Care Bear filter. And so this came from that. I watched a Care Bear movie when I was a child. I don't think I ever had the show, but I had some movie where they were like in like a haunted amusement park. If you know this movie, please comment the name of it because I haven't the foggiest idea of what it is. They are very weird memories. And there were a lot of Care Bears. Like, it wasn't just like 3 of them. I don't know. And there were like human children. Anyways. If I cannot find the artist that I referenced, I will probably blur this photo out. Because it is a direct copy of an artist's work, just with my character, Gorseflight, in it. Because a friend asked me to, so I did. No bitches. Actually, he does have a bitch, but she's dead now. Yep, he's just a silly little guy, and here he is again, but extra dramatic. I would like to finish this one day. I love how this is coming out. I started up top with some yew berries, some holly berries, some, that's a lily, some poisonous plants. He is a medicine cat, so that is how he tends to remove people from the living realm. And then down here are, I think they're flowers that represent death. I know that's a trumpet vine. And I think these are maybe chrysanthemums? I don't know. I had a vision. The vision has gone away, but it was the general progression of flowers. He's a sad boy because his wife is dead. And it's a little bit his fault. I promised myself that I would try to learn how to draw a baby. So here was my attempt. I don't know how to draw their faces. All of these faces are so creepy. He looks like Caillou. So this is the best one. She got a little chunk. I love... babies are so cute to look at. So it was so much fun getting to look at pictures, but to actually draw them, I don't know how to make them not look scary. So this is the best one because she doesn't have a face. And then, because I drew babies, I had to draw kittens. And no, it definitely wasn't just an excuse for me to draw more cats. Here's some kittens. I think this one's the best. This one has a bunny friend, so that's pretty fun. I was going to make this into a TikTok, so here was the very rough planning, and then this was what was actually going to be the TikTok. I might still make it one day, but probably digitally, because these turned out kind of rough, but I tried. An attempt was made. This is the continuation of that. This is another one of my favorite pages. Blue Star was originally in love with Coldflower. So he and she are the parents of Skydawn. And Crowsong had a crush on Bluestream for a while. And now they are mates, which is great. Because now Coldflower is dead. So, I did some goofy little doodles of them as apprentices and how she had a crush on him, and he is a little dum-dum. He doesn't know what's going on, and that's okay, because he's just a sweet little guy. I really like how these came out. I think I did the proportions well to make them look young. I like drawing my and my friends' characters. Here's more of them, trying to get something out of a tree. I don't know what. Use your imagination. And here they are, all grown up. He's given her a big ol' kiss because he loves her. They're so cute. I love them so much. They both have gone through a lot in their lives, so their relationship is not all sparkles and rainbows, but they are trying their best. This is more Blue Stream or Blue Star and Crow Song just as markers. I was tired. I was very tired. It was a long day. Last 2 pages for this day. Here's Blue Stream and Sky Kit. He loves her so deeply. And here's Sealke, also without a reference, but for some reason this one looks good. Not realistic, but good. She's a queen. I love her. So much of this is just me gushing over my OCs. I hope it's somewhat enjoyable. My friend told me to draw a kitten in a maid costume, so I did. There she is. She's so cute. She's gonna chase all your dust bunnies away. I had to look up maid outfits, and I'm sure you can imagine how that went. Here's my soldier OC again. I should have used a reference. She doesn't look good. I gave up. I was having another bad drawing day. These are all the same day. She came out great. Everything from there was downhill. This is Sealke in an outfit that was cute in the reference photo and not cute on her. I don't like it. It's weird. This is my friend's character in a meme template because, again, if you draw them as a meme, they don't have to look good. So this is modeled Kit again. He's a baby. Figure drawings. Bad Sealke drawing. You get the drill by now. I would like to draw my channel mascot, which is that leopard that you see in my end card in a pile of leaves. But I didn't actually. I just drew the idea of it. This was a storyboard for the next 4 pages, which I also made a TikTok. Which I also made into a TikTok. But, you know, I worked hard on them, and they're on screen for a very short amount of time in the TikTok, so get your fill. Look at them now. These took me a couple days. These are the only pages that are not dated and signed because they were for a TikTok. Yeah, I love Skydawn and Gorse Flight. Their relationship was so cute when she was alive. He's so emo. And she's just so pretty. She has lots of trauma, but that's okay. She's pretty. I love her to death. She has an amazing personality. And it really sucks that she's dead. Oh look, figure drawings. I was struggling real hard that day with drawing cats, so I did some with a reference. I think this came out well. I think this came out well. Yeah, I tried. It was an attempt. I was trying to warm up my hands. Guess what it is? It's more OCs. So here is my friend's OC Wildhound and his new apprentice, Mink Paw. They are very different energies. He does not like her, but he will one day. It'll be fine. Here they are training. I think she came out quite well down here. You don't have to look at him. Just look at her. Just pay attention to her. Here is Mink Paw trying to flirt with not even a real character. I just really wanted to do that How to Train Your Dragon template, and Wildhound is just all for it. Someone needs to give Mink Paw a good father figure because she has none. Speaking of good father figures, here's Blue Star, probably as Blue Stream. Definitely as Blue Stream because he doesn't have his eye scar. This is Blue Stream mourning the loss of his mate Coldflower. She was quite abusive to him, but it can be hard getting over that. He was very much in love with her, even when she was awful to him. So it's hard for him. It was hard for him when she died. Frankly, I really enjoyed drawing all the little foliage and just making it an actual whole scene. It was very fun. I had a good time. Don't ask me what these were. Scribbles, frankly. I tried to draw a skull, it went poorly. Here's a bunch of marker scribbles. I don't even know, man. It was the end of the day. I was tired. I think this was the last page of the day, which was a full spread of hands and feet because I need to learn how to draw them. Yeah, I am definitely getting better. I think these are better. This is bad. But, other than that, like, that looks like a foot. That is definitely a hand, you know? There's a little gorse flight doodle again, because I was tired. I was having a rough day. Actually, this one might be the best. I think the heel is pretty clear with the bend. I like it. Figure drawings. I saw a TikTok about... Is her name pronounced Laika? I do not remember, and I do not feel like looking it up right now. But, you know, the first dog sent into space who unfortunately died. I saw a TikTok about church grims where they would bury a dog to be the first protector of a graveyard, and how Laika was the first dog to die in space, and so now she's the protector of space as a graveyard. It was very cute and made me cry. I cry easily. So I wanted to draw a church grim being buddy with death, because the church grim's job is to protect the graveyard from robbers and thieves and people who would desecrate it. So I think church grims and death would be good friends because they both have some respect for souls. We'll start with this, which is some fan art of Twilight Princess, my favorite Zelda game ever. Link was turning out rough. I don't like how he looks here, although I do quite enjoy how Wolf Link came out. Maybe I'll try to finish this again one day, but then I remembered that dinosaurs exist. And I am a big fan of dinosaurs, specifically Pachycephalosauruses. They are my favorite dinosaur. They have a big ol' bone on their head that they used to hit people with. They were presumed to be herbivores, and then they realized they had some sharp teeth. So they were like, scientists decided that maybe Pachycephalosauruses were omnivores who primarily ate vegetation. Like the opposite of a bear. Anyways, so the best thing about dinosaurs is if you draw them wrong, it's okay, because we don't actually fully know what they look like. So here, she chonky, she thick, and she is the love of my life. Oh my gosh, I love Pachycephalosauruses. So I got a little obsessed, and I drew some more. Yeah, just these are some silly doodles, some of their teeth, a Pachycephalosaurus seeing snow. I should have done a better sketch. I don't like how this came out, but the doodle page was fun. So a rough marker for a cooldown. And then here are some Pachycephalosauruses playing in the snow. I got genuinely sad about the idea of them never seeing snow, but then I googled it, and if I remember correctly, they lived in the Cretaceous period, which did have snow. So they would have seen snow, and that made me much happier. So they're having a little snowball fight, and then my friend texted me that she broke her foot. So I think that's the end of this day, because I had to go deal with that. I need to stop drawing while watching TV, because every time I do, things don't turn out well. This was bad. This is fine. It's Gorseflight. He's fine. I really like how his head turned out, actually. I didn't do much with his body. At this point, I should be more creative, I think, with how I draw him. But at the same time, I draw him for fun. He's my baby. Girly Pop, use a reference. Stop trying to draw Sealcake without a reference. She comes out bad every time. Just look up a reference. I didn't use a reference. She looks bad. Some snakes. I'm a snake. They're bad, they're ugly, marker art, whatever. Moving on. More figure drawings and a little Gorseflight for your trouble. Um, one of my friends said that I should draw one of their characters in their series, which I will also try to link in the bio if I remember, because they really liked how I draw the Pachycephalosauruses, and these are a similar dinosaur reptilian kind of looking thing. So I drew it for them. Almost done. My very last, I lied last time. This is my very last hand and feet study. This one has a sock on it, so it's more interesting. I don't know. I feel like these are worse than the last one, but I also think I spent less time on them, so, it happens. Along with promising myself that I would try to learn how to draw babies, I also promised myself that I would try to learn how to draw toddlers. Clearly, I did not succeed in learning how to draw toddlers. I did these 3 very poor drawings and immediately gave up because, oh my gosh, this was hard. I don't know why. I don't know why toddlers and babies are so hard, but they really are. I'd rather draw feet. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I cried at the end of Mutant Mayhem. So I had to draw Leonardo. I tried to put Micron over wet gel pen. Don't do that. My Micron's just dead. It was a brand new Micron. I put it over the white gel pen. Gone. Dead. It won't work anymore. That's what all the scribbles over here were. Me trying to get it to work again. And it doesn't. So that's really fun. Don't do that. And then I tried to make his pupils out of markers by putting markers over the white gel pen. And it ate the pupils. So he doesn't really have pupils. And it's very sad. And also my markers were so running out at this point. They were almost out of ink, but I was determined for them to last me to the end of this. I am on my very last day of drawing because I wanted this to be exactly a month. So the markers had to power on. This is another one of my OC characters from the roleplay. Her name is Flash. She has an underbite. She is gorgeous. I love her. She's in a tree. Where else would you be if you were a cat? This is Sealke in a corset because I'm the artist, so I get to put her in whatever I want. I'd like to finish it one day. It will probably never happen. She's okay. I just got some of the perspective wrong. It was hard and I was tired. Who's that? Is it Gorseflight again? Yes, it is. Oh my gosh. I draw him so much. Look, it's some more yew berries and some oleander and some lily, which I think are all ways that he's killed cats before. I don't remember. I probably researched it. Yep, there he is, unfinished, as always. We're gonna look at this page first, which is, I wanted to do a redraw of my very first page, and I thought that's dumb, because if you recall, my very first page was a stylized wolf thing. So why would I do a redraw of a piece that was supposed to be stylized? That wasn't even my style. But I live by rules, so I did it anyways. I actually like this so much more. I was going for really sharp angles in the old one, and I kind of got them, but not really. The sharp angles worked so much better in this one. I really like how I used my line weight. Yeah, I just genuinely, honestly really like how this came out. I do think it's an improvement. I just learned how to exaggerate better, I guess. And last but not least, this is the last page I actually drew. Even if the first page is the last page, and then this would be the other last page, but this is the actual last page, the last thing that I drew. This is my Sona, a tiger. This is my friend Rue's Sona, a cat, and this is my friend Sid's Sona, which is like a person with this really cool mask. I'm sorry, Sid. Your Sona's just a human, right? I don't know. It's okay. I will probably put up a reference photo of them. Just us hugging. Man, I would love to be able to give so many of my online friends a big old bear hug in real life, but I can't, so I'll draw it instead. But it really is thanks to Rue and Sid that I was able to finish this book. They were online with me for a lot of the time that I was drawing. They gave me a lot of drawing prompts. Yeah, I love them to death. And they are the reason this sketchbook got done, and that this sketchbook got done in 30 days. So I had to draw them. And that's it. That's the end of the sketchbook. Thank you all for coming along to watch my mindless doodles and weird hand and feet studies. I hope you all had a good time, and if this video gets positive reception, I'll start doing more voiceover content to fill in the gaps between my shorter animations. I hope to see you next time.